Welcome, everybody. In the last episode, we talked about rhythms. Today, we're going to discuss pitch. While rhythms move from left to right in time, pitch moves up and down. Pitch is how high or low a sound is. You see, this is a high-pitched note, and this is a low-pitched note. This is in the middle. On the piano, this pitch is called middle C. To help you better understand pitch, you must know the musical alphabet, A through G. Each of these 7 letters will represent a pitch in music. In the last episode, you've seen these 5 lines of 4 spaces, but we never talked about them. These 5 lines of 4 spaces are called a staff. You see, a staff is 5 lines of 4 spaces used for musical notation. That simply means you put notes on it. There's lines 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And here's the spaces 1, 2, 3, and 4. The reason I showed you numbers is that we don't have a clef sign. Without a clef sign, there's no way of knowing what the pitch is. You see, a clef sign names the lines and spaces of the staff. I'm going to start with the treble clef. The treble clef names the lines and spaces of the staff for the higher-pitched instruments. Some of these instruments include the flute, clarinet, saxophone, and trumpet. The piano uses the treble clef, but it also uses the bass clef. Let's name the lines of the staff for the treble clef. The first line, which is the bottom line, is E. The second line is G. The third line is B. The fourth line is D. And the 5th line is F. A phrase you can use to help you remember the lines of the treble clef is every good boy does fine. Now let's name the 4 spaces of the treble clef. Remember, we're reading from the bottom to the top. The first space is F, the second space is A, the third space is C, and the 4th space is E. What does that spell? That's correct. It spells face. This is just a way of remembering the spaces of a treble clef. Here's another way to help you figure out the letter name of any pitch. If you go from line to space, it's just simply the musical alphabet. I want you to understand that if you change the clef sign, the names of the lines and spaces will change also. Now we're going to apply the concepts from the rhythm lesson to our pitch lesson today. If you have a keyboard, that is awesome. You can sing it also. In the first measure, we have all quarter notes. If you notice, the first 2 quarter notes are not on the staff. They are on what we call ledger lines. Ledger lines are lines that are above and below the staff that extends it. Extend meaning add to. If you start on E in the first line, all you have to do is go through the alphabet backwards without skipping any lines or spaces. You see, the space below E is going to be D. Next, we have that first ledger line below the staff. This is C. This is also called middle C on the piano. Because we have a clef sign, which is the treble clef, each note has a pitch now. Again, the first note is on a ledger line. You know the note is on a ledger line because of the note head. In case you're confused about whether a note is on a line or a space, this is how you know. If a line is going through a note head, it's on a line. If there's no line going through it, it's on a space. Always look at the note head to determine where the note is placed. Now let's prepare to play or sing. Like I said before, the first note you see on that ledger line is middle C. It is also a quarter note which receives 1 count. And remember, it gets beat 1. The second quarter note gets beat 2 and is also C. On beat 3 is another quarter note and the pitch is G. And the 4th quarter note is G, just like the 3rd quarter note. If you've seen the video, Learn How to Read Music in 5 Minutes, you already understand how to read these rhythms. If you don't understand how to read these rhythms, you should watch the first part. We're almost ready to go. Our first note is middle C, so we're going to start there. This is how middle C sounds. The white key to the right of middle C is D. The next white key is E. Next is F, G, A, B, and then we land on C again, which is an octave higher. All the C's on a piano or keyboard is the white key to the left of the set of 2 black keys. We are about to begin. Each key that you need to press will light up on the keyboard. Those two dots at the end of measure 4 is a repeat sign, which means we're going to play all 4 measures twice. If you mess up the first time, just try it again. Practice makes you better. 1, 2, ready, go. Very good. If you didn't get it perfect that time, try it again. Let's play it once more, except this time we're going to add accompaniment. Now try to focus on your part. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Great job. Now we're going to do it one more time and you're going to provide the melody. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Congratulations, you made it through the first 2 lessons. Hopefully, you really understand how to read music now. Now there's a lot more to learn about music. You see, we haven't talked about 8th notes or 16th notes. However, I will discuss these concepts some more in future lessons. Goodbye, everybody. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe.